Good everyone, I'm Nestor Licanta. Welcome to PDN's Conversations with the Candidates. We're going to begin our campaign 2024 coverage with the village of Jigo. There are 7 villages that have one-on-one competition. And we're going to start with Jigo, introduce our guest, Mayor Tony Sanchez. And his rival candidate is Francis Liama. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
All right, we've got a very few time, so I'm going to get to the questions right away. And we tossed a coin, and Francis, you're going to answer the first question, which is simply, what do you think is the top issue facing your village, and how would you address it?
Well, first of all is the stray dogs. You know, we get a lot of complaints as we're out there, children being attacked or just villagers walking, getting bit by the dogs. And so, of course, that's one of the top issue. Second issue is the flooding issue. There are certain areas that constantly floods with all the rain that we get during the rainy seasons or during the storms. And the third is providing sports program for our youth, sports, community programs that we can avail to the kids.
Okay, we're going to tackle that each one at a time. So talk about your first issue first, the stray dogs.
The stray dogs. So currently we have GAIN in the village, and I'd like to work with them on doing a spay and neuter program on a monthly basis. Hopefully that we can cut down the stray animals. 2 is educating the community, giving them enough education, and then 3, implementing the fines, you know, the dog leash law that needs to be worked on, you know, giving the community the what the law is about. So, you know.
All right. Mayor Sanchez, what's your top issue facing the village of Jigo?
Well, what she said was the stray dogs also. And in regards to the stray dogs, you know, if more monies was given to the animal control, because we get calls for kids getting bitten, so we refer these calls to animal control. But there's only very few of them that they're able to go out there and respond. But maybe if they were to help us and maybe give us cages, you know, we used to trap them ourselves, but the problem is sometimes GAIN won't be able to accept them because they're full. So we would have to keep them for a couple of days before GAIN is able to receive them. Now, like I said, if they were able to give us some cages, maybe we can help the agriculture people with animal control go out there and catch these dogs.
Yeah. Real quickly, both of you have mentioned stray dogs, so I wanted to dig deeper into that. How bad is the problem in
Really
Jigo?
bad.
Yeah.
Really bad. I've gotten bit maybe 2 weeks ago right here in my side with a stray dog, just going visiting a resident. The stray dog came up and bit me over here in the side, so I was lucky it was just a scratch, not a full bite.
Okay, the second question goes to you. What is your top 2 challenge for the village of Jigo?
Roads. Yes, roads. I mean, there are a lot of secondary roads that still need to be paved. I mean, yes, the administration has come out and paved some of the roads, and I have to thank them for that, but there's still more roads that still need to be paved, that needs to be widened up a little bit more. Paved. There are a lot of potholes, a lot of, just matter a resident came in today, stays in the Mayotte area, says, Mayor, our road. Says, okay, let me see how I can reach out to Public Works, dump some material there and maybe get some equipment and spread it out and try and level the road as best as we can.
All right. And so you mentioned earlier your second. Could you elaborate on that?
On the flooding, so of course East Gajanero, there's a area that constantly floods with all this rain and the storm. The only way that we can prevent that is the continuation of cleaning the area. It's a buildup of debris. So of course, debris buildup, water has no way of escaping. So of course, that's where the flooding happens. Marianas Terrace, the lower level, always is a problem with flooding. I'd like to work with DPW and see how we can increase the drainage, you know, because all that water that comes from the upper section of Marianas Terrace eventually is going to flow down to the lower section. So the homes there are always affected. And so I'd like to work with DPW on that and on trying to get a more drainage, a proper drainage for that area. If it means increasing the drain holes, then, we need to work on that.
All right. Mayor, you have any response to it?
Yes, the Marianas Terrace area is a real, real big problem. And part of that problem is the ponding basin. The last time Public Works came out there to clean that ponding basin, it was maybe 5-6 years ago. Now, if they were to do a periodic cleaning of that ponding basin, some of that flooding will be alleviated with that cleaning of that ponding basin. As for East Gajanero, even during former Mayor Rudy's time, we went out there and the water was up to waist level. So we've got residents out there who signed a petition. We sent it to Public Works to come out there and see what they could do to alleviate that flooding. After Marwar, I even met with somebody from Public Works out there. So there's certain areas there where they could open up more of a ponding basin access for this water to flow through. So, like I said, that East Gajanero is really, really bad when these residents have to call us and say, hey, we need to be rescued with the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it.
All right.
Yes.
We got to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more right after this. Stay with us. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing our conversation with the candidates with Jigo Mayor Tony Sanchez and his rival candidate, Francis Liama. We're continuing a discussion about what they feel are the biggest issues confronting their villages. And when we left off with Francis, so we'll go to you next, Mayor. What is your third issue that you think is of greatest concern to the villagers of Jigo?
Illegal dumping, abandoned cars, it's just popping up all over the place. We just recently did almost 200 cars pulling out of Jigo, but yet there's still more out there, especially on the side streets, secondary roads, the main roads. And supposedly the law states that GPD is supposed to go out there and do their due diligence in regards to try and track who these people are who owns these vehicles, get together with Public Works, get together with Revenue and Tax to find out who owns it. They can backtrack them, find them, and we'll go from there. And hopefully these people will learn to stop throwing their vehicles on the side of the road and burning them.
Let me just ask you, these abandoned vehicles, are these being abandoned by the villagers of Jigo, or is people from outside your village? Where's the problem at?
I think both.
Yeah.
I think both. Because Jigo's so big that other residents probably, okay, we can go to like the Zero Down, Gilbaza area, all these areas that are real hidden in the village that they could just drive in there and just leave the cars there.
Francis, you can respond to that, or you can go on to your third.
No, so yes, illegal dumping, junk vehicles. You go to the housing residents. One of the things is what I like to do is do education as well, because these auto repairs that's happening in the housing areas, those are illegal. You go to the housing areas, you have these junk vehicles, and it impedes the emergency vehicles, if there's ever, God forbid, any emergency. However, of course, education, and then, again, going back to citation, you hold them accountable. They will take the cars for repair, they junk it on the side, and so, that has been an ongoing problem. With GPD, as far as getting with GPD on the owners, if I'm not mistaken, I think the mayors were given the authority to give citations. So, of course, there are some fine lines, but, if that's what it takes to start, the awareness, then let's do it.
Okay. Your third issue confronting the villagers?
Third issue is the youth programs, whether it's sports. And, I'd like to, I've been online researching grants that are available to the community. And that's what I'd like to do is whatever grants we're able to get, free money. Nobody turns down free money. So, whatever free money that we can get, I'd like to avail the community to that, that will help provide programs for the youth. And, the saying, and I don't mind, is a devil's den. If we keep these youth occupied, whether it's steering them into a career path or whatever, that'll help. That'll help, versus you see them walking on the road, hanging out at bus stops doing nothing. We'd like to produce productive citizens.
Mayor, you can respond a little bit to that and then go into your fourth challenge.
Well, just recently we just renovated our gym. So slowly we're trying to bring back the sports programs. We were helping out with the youth baseball. So I'm renovating my baseball field also. We just recently renovated my outdoor basketball court. So hopefully that once we get all these facilities up and running to the way it's supposed to be run, we can start more of our programs, get more kids involved in the summer, do summer leagues. A coach just reached out to me yesterday and he goes, "Oh, we've got 25 kids." I said, "Oh, great." They go, "Okay, we want to start practicing." I said, "Okay, well, my gym's available if you want to come and practice with your kids." So that's things I want to do now that I got all my facilities up to par on the renovations.
All right. And you have a fourth key issue that is confronting the village?
Streetlights. Streetlights. With all the crimes that are going on right now, a lot of residents are calling in requesting for streetlights to light up their areas. So a lot of the requests comes to the mayor's office for streetlight repairs and streetlight installations. But from there, we filter it down to the community affairs office for the paperwork. Then from there, I don't know if they give it to Public Works. I don't know what happens from there. But streetlights is one of the real big issues. We get requests for streetlights to be repaired, installed on a daily basis, just to light up the community, just to feel for the residents to feel safe.
Okay. Francis, you got a fourth challenge?
So again, roads, the mayor mentioned roads. So, prior to leaving government, I had an open dialogue with this administration, the governor and the lieutenant governor, and a lot of the road paving project that has happened in Jigo is as a result from my 2020 campaign. Of course, I wasn't successful, but I managed to get it done because Jigo needs it. We still have road paving projects that is upcoming in the La Chance area and other areas. And so, the road projects, Chalanetti, Takana subdivision, behind Mariana's Terrace, Emsley, these are just a few of the road paving projects that I was able to get in with this administration. So, of course, that's going to continue.
Okay, we've got about 4 minutes left. I must apologize because I forgot to give you guys a proper introduction. So I'm going to ask you to take about 2 minutes to introduce yourself to the people of Jigo that may not know you, and then give us your closing argument. Why should they vote for you?
Sure. Today, my name is Francis Lizama. I am running for Jigo mayor. I've lived in the village almost 40 years, although I'm not from there, but, I've raised my family there. I'm married, and I'd say almost 40 years, more than I've lived in my own village. Jigo's home to me. Again, I'm asking for the people's support. We need to improve our community. It's been how many years that we have not seen major improvements. Our community continues to grow. So we need to of course, improve our community to align with the growth. And so, again, road paving, stray dogs, all these issues that people have spoken to me about while I was out there campaigning, these are issues that is, of course, a concern to me.
Okay, you got about 30 seconds. Have you had a chance to go around the village, and what have you heard from the village?
Yes, as a matter of fact, yesterday I did my canvassing yesterday in Takano, and a lot of the things that I'm getting from the community is thank you for the road that was paved. Takano is one of them that we managed to get paved, and they were thankful for that. But street lights as well, going out there and areas that we've managed to get street lights. Yes, their request is not does not go unheard. So working with them, and a lot of the things also is, what do we have for the kids? What are you going to do for the kids? I have kids. So, of course, the programs.
All right. And Mayor, reintroduce yourself to the people of Jigo and also to the people of Guam who are watching online.
Yes, my name is Anthony Sanchez. I'm the current mayor for Jigo. I was your vice mayor for 8 years, and now I'm your current mayor. I would humbly ask your support. We still got more work that needs to be done. Improvement-wise, I mean, we recently renovated our gym. We renovated our outdoor basketball court that's been forgotten for the last, I don't know how many years since I was raised right next to that basketball court. The softball field right now, we're renovating it. So there's improvements that is going on in our village right now. Now, if the village residents don't see it, then they don't stay in Jigo. But there are improvements. So I asked my village residents to please, if you could give me 4 more years, you're going to see more improvements for our village. Thank you.
Yeah. What is it about having run the village in the last 4 years that you would most like to change if you could?
You know, Nersta, with change comes funding. If you don't have the proper funding, it's hard to do changes because changes, you need to have funding. There's stuff that we like to do, improve, but with limited budget, we fought with the legislature to give us a $19.some million budget. They brought it down to less. So we have to work with what we get. And, you know, if you know how to work the money, then you should be able to get the job done, especially if you have community partners in your village who are willing to come out and assist you at no cost.
Yeah. We've got about 2 minutes left, and I wanted to use some of that time to just ask if you've got anything else you wanted to add that you might have missed earlier.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm in dialogue with this administration. Should I be elected, I'm looking at getting a Jigo Community Center. That's one of the facilities that our community lacks. And so already dialogue has started prior to me leaving government. And so last that I've heard is that the lieutenant governor is also working with other agencies to see how we can fund this. Of course, there's GURA. So already the dialogue's there. A walking path is another one that was one of my ideas because after the closing of Andy South, the residents don't have a place to go walking. So a walking path is also one of the projects that I'm in dialogue with, and already we're working on coming up with a plan for that.
Real quick, 30 seconds, what's your position on Simon Sanchez?
The rebuilding, that's been a long awaited, and you know, my kids graduated from there, and you know, something needs to happen quick. And I know the latest is the plans have been done, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Mayor, you got about a minute. Anything else you wanted to add, and also your position on Simon Sanchez?
You know, in regards to the closing of the walking path over there by the fire station, Hans Ada, the people that are trying to rebuild or get back the racetrack, reached out to me today because I had dialogue with them. Is, you know, we were trying to use part of that racetrack, the parking lot, as a walking path. So we're going to be meeting later on today. We're going to try and brainstorm on how we can open up that racetrack and also to include a walking path for the village residents, because we get a lot of calls. We were looking at also the Gura 506 area to do the walking path, but it's just not a big enough area for the people to really park and walk. But the racetrack is a very, very good area because it's gated, it's cemented and everything, and lighted.
And real quick, Simon Sanchez.
Wow, I just sat down yesterday with Miss Carla Messanayan at JFK. And the office space that they were working, I'm like, wow, really? Because yeah, Ms. Mayor, this is how what we have to deal with on a daily basis. Man, how can the fire department even allow you guys to stay in here? It's such a crowded area for how many people in here. So, you know, Simon Sanchez should have been built 20, 30 years ago. You know, and a lot of these senators who have been in there for so many years, I guess just dropped the ball. Yeah. I mean, look where our kids now, they're suffering.
Yeah. All right, we are out of time. Mayor Tony Sanchez and Francis Liama vying for your vote to be the next mayor of the village of Jigo. I'm Nestor Licanto. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you again next time.